Good morning, welcome back to Life of Dave. We're back down the boat. Tuesday morning, 18th of April. Let's see what we can get done today. Okay, so last time down, we managed to get all this lot sanded and ready and prepped and cut all the glass out for it. I need a couple of little strips to go in under here. I think I cut out the main skin to go across so that it's, you know, all tied in, but I need to cut a couple of little strips, just feathered edges, to go into these bits here, so that I've got a little bit more build, because the glass that was here has basically been cut out to get rid of the void, so there's a low spot there, so it dips down there, if you can see that. So I've fillered it so that it's all smooth, so that I won't get any air trapped in there. It's all tapered off nicely, right? But what I need to do is just build this bit up, just between there and there. That needs a little bit of glass in there to bring that back up to this level. Then I can put my skin over the top, and that will lock it all into place. Another one there, another one there, and then I've got them two little bits around there. So start off with a little bit in there, and then we can start putting the main skin over a lot. But before I do any of that, that's all got to be acetoned. So let's get it all cleaned up and ready to go. And then we can start laying some glass. As soon as I start touching anything in here, I've got to mask up and get that on, because the dust just goes up in the air. As soon as that gets airborne, you know, no good. I usually, to be honest, I usually wear the mask all the time I'm in the boat. The only time I don't sometimes is when I literally first get in it, just say hello, and then the mask goes on, and it usually stays on for the rest of the day, because once I've started touching stuff in here, the dust kicks up in the air and it's airborne. At the moment, if you look through the window, I can see there's no dust in the air. As soon as I pick something up, any of this, it's all got stuff on, all covered in dust. That'll all go up in the air, and you can see it. When I look out the door, you can see all the dust with the light behind it. At the moment, yeah, it's fine. But mask on, let's get cranking. I've got to get this glass, let it set up so that it's tacky, not set, but tacky. And then I want to put a skim of filler over it again. It means more sanding, but it's going to need sanding anyway. I could glass it and gel coat it, but then I'm going to have to sand it down and then fill all the imperfections and then redo it all again. It's just, you know, it's a waste of gel coat, I think. I might as well glass it, let it set, filler it, then I can sand the filler back until I can get back to the glass. I only need a really, really thin skim though, you know. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get that without kicking too much dust up. There it goes, look, see that dust? Whee! I'll lay that down there. Little drip tray. You can't see a damn thing up there because the camera's pointing upwards, so there we go. We'll pop that down there. Just stops all the resin dripping over everything. Pretty much the only thing actually I don't want covered is these hinges. I might give that a little wipe up and just put a bit of tape over those, because I don't want them getting ruined. I still haven't found any handles yet, so I could put a hole through it so that I just use my fingers, so I've got nothing sticking out, but I won't look the prettiest. I don't know, not really too sure which way to go at the moment. I've got to decide on that. If I can't find any handles, you know, I'll have to make a decision. I'll need something. So. I've got to do the hatch as well, so I might as well get it all acetone ready to go, and then I'll see how far I can go today with the glass in. Hopefully I can get it all done. I'll need a little bit of filler to go into a couple of spots. I'm talking a tiny amount. Just into these corners, there's a little bit there, there's a bit rough, there's a little bit here, there's a bit rough. Tiny amounts, really tiny. Probably put a little bit into there as well. And there's a little edge there.
Could do with a bit. I'm talking really small, but it'll be a really small air void, you know. I don't want voids. That's what the whole idea of grinding all this out was, you know. I've done it. It ballsed up really. It didn't work, you know. It went wrong. I had voids in it. I wasn't happy with that, so I removed those voids and started again. I don't want to put them back in second time. This is it now. I mean, I've perfected the surface a lot more than it was before, so it should come out better this time. There's a little bit here where I've ground this out. Just give me a little edge there. So I'll probably, what I'll do with that is I'll put a smear of filler over that and then glass it in. And the glass will go into the filler and we'll work it all out as one that way. So it'll all get there in the end. I don't want to have to keep grinding bits out though and starting again, doing it all again. I'm going to have to tone down this side bit as well, because I've got these two bits here to glass, and whilst I'm mixing up some filler, I've got a couple of little splodges on this side that needed doing. I'm not going to have to turn the whole boat inside though. Just the bits I need to do today. Go slightly past where I'm glassing to so that I don't get any problems. There's a bit of resin there, I wonder what that was. A bit of resin drip. A bit of that. Where is it? Can't see it. Clear resin. There it is. Once I've tied this top in, I'll cut some glass out to go down these side bits. So I want to go around these windows. Bit of dust on the window lip there. Get rid of that. I haven't got my hoover with me. Bit of a bummer. Put too much stuff in the car. Didn't have room for that. And gently flip this down, let it settle. Oh, they're moving a bunch. Got one going in, look. See out of this window, not very well. A bit swirly this one. Windows are going to be changed, so not the best view in the world. All under here is done. I don't want the dust picking up whilst I'm working. There we go. We are done. We've got here some little extra bits of glass. Need a bit for that. It's got to be torn. It has to be rough and raggy. Oh, raggy. Get it out of this small bit, we'll see, because it's got to be rough on the edges. There's not a lot of glass there to tear. It's easier to tear a small bit off of a big bit. Better. Alright, so I can dab that in there. So it's nice and feathered, wispy bits. will mean it won't show up when I put the other layer over the top of it. One, another bit there. Two. Perfect. Now these whistly bits you've torn off, there's all the bits. You can even use those, you know, you can stick that in. There's nothing wrong with those at all, you know. If you're doing a lot of glass work, if you've got a nice clean tub or bucket or something you could use to put those in, you know, you could keep all that sort of stuff and reuse it for toss it in little areas when you need it. You're doing a lot of glass in, there's, you know, there's a lot of waste you're throwing away. It's all money, all adds up. It's falling apart, so I'll separate that and we'll just overlap it. I just don't want this hard edge. That might show up through the glass, I don't want that. So what we've got there is we've got a little bit there, overlap that, little bit there, that will do that section. If I need a bit more, I can always just break off a bit of this and dob that in. So if I use that and put that in there, that would work. It's probably a thicker bit of mat, would work better. But what will happen is I'll have that hard edge. When I glass over that with the next layer, that will show up. You will see that hard edge and I'll have a line there. And the only way of getting rid of that is to sand through the glass until I sand that out. I don't want that. Right, I think that will do me. I've got enough glass cut out at the moment I can get on and get a lot of this stuck in. I'm going to have to cut some more out for the other bits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resin up what I know I've got for now and start getting that on. We'll get these little bits in and we'll get this main section stuck in and then I'll go from there. I don't want to mix up too much and be dealing with a large area and it starts going off before I've got it all rolled out. I want to do one bit and finish it, get it all rolled out nicely and know that it looks good and there's no voids before moving on to the next bit. I don't want to be doing, oh look, that bit's coming away and I've got to keep brushing it back, oh this bit over here, and you know, I want to concentrate on one area, get that done first. That bit there, that's my centre. I've got a hard edge on this, can go level with one edge and a feathered edge on the other. That's my centre bit. Here's the problem, I didn't label nothing. These are my corner pieces that I tore up for those. Got my left and right bits here. Yeah. Go and lay everything out where I want it. Left and right, yeah. Now I want to get this front section done first before I start on any of the side bits around the hatch. Beautiful. So that will go up there like so. Right, so I'm ready to start glassing. What I've got to do now is I've got to get myself a clean tub. I might get my little roller out because trying to brush upside down with a paintbrush is really messy. So if I can find me a roller and a little tray, that'll just make life easier because you can roll it from the side to the, you know, so you're there and you ain't got your hand directly underneath it. Right, just going to mix up some pudding, bit of filler, fairing compound, whatever you want to call it. Not Bondo. This one's actually bonding paste. you know, using the glue glass together. It's gone from blue to grey now, so you know it's mixed. Little streak there, so keep mixing. Okay. I want to show you guys what I'm up to, but also got to get stuff done. There's a little edge there, so that will just take that up. There's a glass over it. Hopefully I won't get any voids. A little bit there. We'll do this while it's still wet. I'll get the glass on very quickly. And I won't get any edges from the filler going on. And that's the edge of here of that thick glass. So it's a bit of a step, so I'm just going to bridge that. So there's a glass over it. There's no edge there. That's the plan. Should just help it be a bit of a smoother transition for the glass to go over. Beautiful. Tiny little pinhole there, just going to fill that in. Scrape that off. I don't want any build up on that really, I want the glass to stick to the glass. Dougie. Tiny smear on that. A little hot coat into there. Well, I'm not going to go back any further with this because what will happen is I'll run out of time and this will go off and set before I get that done. Just doing the front bit where that glass is going to come to. A little bit in that corner. Just to smooth that out. Corners like that, I've got 3 areas going together, or you always get a bit of a funny finish on it. Very hard to sand a 3-way corner. Roll a little bit into that edge as well, look, something like that. Don't need a lot, just a smear. All I'm doing is just filling any little pinholes in there on that radius. Just make it so hopefully as I glass it, that will transition better. It will wrap round that edge without leaving me any problems. Beautiful. A couple of pinholes up here that needed taking care of, so we'll squeeze a little bit up there. These are tiny. very minor. And I put it on and then scrape it all off so that it just fills the hole without any build up really. That's why I acetoned all this up. There's a couple of little ones there, look. Put it on, scrape it in both directions, couple of directions, yeah. Make sure it's worked into the hole. Little one there. Scrape it off. That'll be a quick blast over with a bit of paper. That'll take all that off. Beautiful. No build up at all. I don't want any build up on it. Right, the rest of this is going up on the side here. So I mixed up a little bit more than I wanted. At the top to the bottom there. This is the main low spot at the bottom. Leave that alone now, because otherwise I'm going to mess it up. I might need to put a little bit in of the softer stuff afterwards, just on this corner. So that's got to build up now. I don't want a thicker amount on there. Yeah. Right, let's mix up some resin. The weather's a little bit warmer, so not going to use as much catalyst as I've been using through the colder climates. Yeah, winter time I was using a little bit more catalyst in the resin to make sure it kicked off. I might need to mix up larger amounts because I'm using a roller to put it on with. And what that's going to do is that's going to drink a lot more resin, because a lot of resin is going to be lost in the roller. I've just tipped the resin out into my paint roller tray basically. So we'll use that. So let's get this up here. I did defluff this, but you're always going to get a little bit. You can do the old tape trick, but I don't need the resin out of roller's width off of there, but there it is. I want to get quite a build up on there. I'll take the resin out to the edges as well, even though that's a separate bit of cloth. I don't have to be trying to get resin underneath the edge of the cloth later. Resin's past where I'm going to. but not all the way. I'll do that after. Plenty of resin covering the area you're going to do. Don't want any dry spots. Okay, right, so we've got some coverage there. Resin over all of that. So what I did there is I put the resin in the tray, but I didn't pour all of it in. I'm using quite a shallow tray, so that stops the heat building up. By combining all your resin into one pot, it will get hotter quicker. Right, so now we've got some resin up there. I'm going to put a bit more up with a brush and just push this up using the brush there. You can use your roller if you wish. You can roll that on. Because these are small bits, it might be easier with a brush than just squidging it around with a roller. I want to get that into position so it's covering that area that was low, where we ground that void out. Push it right into that, getting rid of the air, so we're not trapping nothing when we do the next layer. Little bit there. Again, use your roller if you want. I tend to find on the small bits, you know, it's not so easy. On the larger bits you can roll out the resin. Covered that. A little bit there, so we've got some of these dobby bits that I cut off earlier. We'll pop that in there, look. And this is basically so I don't get like a low spot. I could just put the one layer of glass over, but there'll be a low spot there that will need filler in then. So if I can fill it with a bit of glass first, hopefully when I put my top layer over you won't see it so much. I think that one wants a little bit more, so it needs a bit more than one layer to fill that. So what I've done there is I've mixed up a small amount of resin and I've rolled that out over the spot. I've nearly used all of that, all the stuff out the tray's gone. I'm going to mix the last bit of that in out of the pot. So there's a reason behind this. I'll mix up another batch in a second to go over the next lot of cloth that I'm going to put up. But what that's going to do is this first lot of resin is going to start going off. Not immediately, I've got a little bit of working time, as you know. But this is going to start tacking up. And this will be more tacky than the next batch of resin that I'm going to put on the cloth. And the reason for that is what will happen is this stickiness will start to help me holding the cloth in place as I put it up. If I just try to put the cloth up straight away, it'll start going on and it'll be falling down, it'll be trying to land on my head, you know, it'll be coming down on my hands, and I'll have cloth dripping down, hanging down as I'm trying to put it up and it keeps falling back down again. That's why I put the plastic down. I knew I'd be making a mess. overlap that way. So this is still the same brush I have been using for absolutely ages, and I'm using it to stipple glass on. I'm not painting with it. I have painted and gel coated and everything else with it as well. I think it's past using the gel coating now. But as you can see, it is still working absolutely fine for glass. I don't think I'm going to bother cleaning it after today though. I think it's done, yeah. It served its purpose, shall we say. It's put plenty of glass on. It's done me an absolute treat, yeah. I've used it and used it and used it. What I'm trying to do is just fill this up so I can't see a dip there. And then I know once I go over with me top sheet of glass, hopefully I shouldn't be able to see too much of an impression there from that dip that I ground out. Looking pretty good. There we go. Right. So I'm happy with that. That now looks pretty flat there between the two surfaces. I've filled the low spot in between it. I can see this. I can't see this one as well because of the light. Right, I now know I have not got enough resin there to get my next sheet of glass up. So I've got to mix up some more. Obviously I don't want this lot to go off in the process whilst I'm doing it. Ideally, if you can, have separate pots mixed up with the amount you need ready to go. Now that's ready to go up. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to just put some resin over it. Take me roller and just roll some resin on the back of that cloth. That's the good thing about using a sheet of plastic. Pour some over it. And if I can pour the resin on, now the only thing you've got to be careful with this is CSM, because it will start falling apart on you. And this is like I was saying, I've got to get this up here. If you're trying to do it dry, it's really awkward to get it to stick. And this is why I wanted that first lot of resin up to help me get this in place, because this is where it all starts becoming a bit of a nightmare. And trying to get it in the right place as well, so it's a little bit too low. But this is going to start falling apart in a second. Yeah, welcome to hell. Here it goes. It's not going to happen. Right, balls up number one. That now ain't going up there. It's all gone to the top. Try and lay a bit in the edge. We'll have to overlap it and work it in. And this is why I hate glassing upside down. All that work, but absolute waste of time. Just fell apart. I had all my glass ready to go. Waste of time. Absolute balls up. Start again. Well, I didn't have my gloves out the car as well.